The story begins in a quiet, almost forgotten church where Father Gabriel spends most of his days in silent prayer. The wooden benches are worn from years of devotion, and the old stained glass windows cast soft colors across the floor. A small camera crew arrives to film a simple interview about life in the village. They expect nothing extraordinary, just a kind, humble priest sharing gentle words. Father Gabriel welcomes them warmly, offering tea before the interview begins. He speaks slowly, thoughtfully, with a peaceful smile that seems to calm even the room itself. When the crew asks if he can share one hymn he sings during his daily prayers, he hesitates, embarrassed. Singing was something he always did alone, not for attention but for connection, to God, to people, to healing. After a moment of silence, he nods, folds his hands, closes his eyes, and breathes in deeply. The first note that leaves his mouth changes everything. His voice is rich and pure, carrying a depth of emotion that feels almost otherworldly. Instead of a simple hymn, it feels like a message, soft, warm, and full of truth. The cameraman forgets to adjust the focus because he is completely stunned. A woman sitting in the corner of the church begins wiping tears from her eyes. Even the sound of birds outside seems to fade away as if the world itself wants to listen. By the time he finishes, there is a long, heavy silence. No one speaks. They all just stare at him as if witnessing a miracle. Father Gabriel opens his eyes, confused by their reactions, unaware of how deeply his voice had touched them. The crew returns home with the footage, unsure whether anyone else will feel what they felt. Still, they upload the video with a simple title, A Voice from the Heart. What happens next is beyond anything they imagined. Within hours the video spreads across the world. In hospitals, families play it for loved ones in pain. Nurses use it to calm elderly patients. Soldiers stationed far from home listen to it before sleeping. Many write comments saying they felt peace for the first time in months. A mother shares that her autistic son, who rarely reacts to sounds, smiled and whispered a word after hearing the hymn. A man fighting depression says he cried for the first time in years, finally feeling release. News channels replay the video, calling it the voice that heals, while millions continue sharing it every minute. But through all this chaos, Father Gabriel remains in the small village, unaware of the storm he has created. A week later, journalists arrive at the church to interview him, finding him sweeping the floor and preparing food for visitors. They tell him he has inspired millions. They show him messages from across the world, thousands of people thanking him for bringing hope during dark times. Father Gabriel listens quietly, overwhelmed. With a gentle smile he finally says, "It wasn't me. It was love." His humility shocks them even more than his voice. He refuses to accept fame, insisting he only wants to help people spiritually, not become a star. Soon after, organizers decide to host a massive charity concert, not to promote him, but to raise funds for hospitals, orphanages, and families in need. They invite Father Gabriel to sing just one hymn for the audience. He hesitates again, feeling he is not a performer, but eventually agrees when he learns the event will help thousands. On the night of the concert, a huge stadium fills with people holding candles, waiting in complete silence. The atmosphere feels sacred, as if everyone already knows they are about to witness something rare and unforgettable. Father Gabriel walks onto the stage nervously. The bright lights, the endless sea of faces, the soft flickering candles, it is overwhelming. He grips the microphone with trembling hands, closes his eyes, and begins to sing the same hymn he sang in the empty church. Instantly, the stadium becomes silent, then emotional, and finally deeply peaceful. People begin to cry. Some hold hands. Others bow their heads. His voice fills every corner of the stadium like a warm wave of healing. The notes rise higher, carrying every emotion he has ever felt: faith, love, pain, hope. It feels less like a performance and more like a prayer spoken to the entire world at once. When he reaches the final note, the sound floats into the night sky and gently fades. There is another long silence, but this time it is followed by a thunderous standing ovation. Thousands rise to their feet, cheering, crying, and clapping with all their heart. Father Gabriel steps back in disbelief. He never imagined his quiet hymn, sung alone in a small church, would unite so many people. Tears fill his eyes as he looks at the crowd, families hugging, strangers comforting each other, children smiling, elders lifting candles higher. In that moment, he realizes his voice did not change the world because it was powerful, but because it came from pure love. The story of Father Gabriel becomes a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary miracles come from the most ordinary places. A simple voice, a simple man, and a simple song were enough to heal hearts across the world.